Hello my viewers, you're welcome to Frank NutriFacts YouTube channel where we discuss only about healthy lifestyle. As we all know, on this channel we talk mainly about nutritional health and eye health. These are the basic things, and then once in a while we bring in things about family stuff and all of that. So if these things are the things that you find interested to listen to, then I must tell you, you are on the right channel. Just grab your seat, click on the notification button, subscribe to my channel so that anytime I post any content, you'll be the first to see it and then watch it. So on today's episode, we're going to be talking about patronizing roadside eyeglass sellers. Now, who are roadside eyeglass sellers? Roadside eyeglass sellers are those people that hawk eyeglasses at the market. You see them, they move around with it, hawk it around, or they have a particular place where they sit and then they will just position those glasses. And then you come there and you just make a selection based on what you want and then you go. I don't mean people that sell frames. These people are different. There are people that sell frames where you buy and then you take it to the hospital for them to incorporate your lens prescription and all of that. They are not the ones I'm talking about. I'm talking about those people that literally have something that looks like medicated lens and then they have a stand where they sell it, or sometimes they hawk them around. I want to tell you to be careful if you are among those that patronize this kind of people. Now, what are my reasons about saying this? Some people come to hospital, they made the wise decision of coming to hospital to have their eye tested, and then after the whole processes, we see these patients demanding for their prescription. And you may think probably they want to go to another eye clinic, probably to have their glasses there, or to go to a proper optical shop to tender the lens prescription so that they will get their glass fitted. And sometimes they will just dash off to the market and just pick anything. Now, number one reason why you should not patronize them is these people do not have any background knowledge about optical. Yes, they are selling. It's because they learn it is a trade. So they learn it, and maybe after some years they are used to how it works, and then they begin to sell. They do not have anything to offer you. There is no information that they can add that can be of benefit to you. So it's what you bring, they will give. Sometimes they don't even have full knowledge of what they did. Of course, they will not. They will just give you what you presented. Now, why will you patronize somebody who is not even sure of what he or she is doing? Why will you patronize such a person? Now, let me tell you what happens. Apart from people that their problem is just basically reading, there are people that have good sight. The only challenge they have is what we call presbyopia, which occurs as a result of physiological change. Okay, so their problem is just that power that will enable them, or that prescription that will enable them see their tiny characters very well. Those people are exceptional, so they can just come. They already know their prescription, what the doctor has given to them, so they can go there and just say, okay, I want +2 deltas fair, so it's easier, and then they will pick it up and give them. And such lenses, you find them mostly in what we call single vision lens. So that glass is kind of uniform. So when you wear it, everywhere in that glass is just the same prescription. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Let me show you something. I don't know whether you have noticed people wearing glasses. Those days in the school, you see some of our professors then, they will be wearing this kind of glass, and then they will position it this way. So they look through the upper section to teach you, and then when they want to read, they will just do like this. Their eye go into that place. Now the reason is because the glass they are wearing is strictly reading glasses. So that's what we call a single vision lens. So all the power is just one power all over the place. So they cannot be able to carry out 2 tasks at the same time. They cannot use it to drive or do distant tasks. It's only for near. So they position it in such a way that it will suit them, and that is why you see them teach you like this, and then they read like this. That is it. Apart from this kind of people, they are the only ones probably they can patronize those roadside sellers. But even at that, it is still not correct. Do you know why? These roadside sellers don't even know the power. The only thing is that they just saw the tag. That is the tag on the frame. maybe +2, +3, +1. And so when you come and you tell them the prescription I want is +1, they will just check and say, okay, this is what it is. They will just give it to you. Okay, you want +2, they just look and see +2, they give it to you. In a proper optical shop or in a proper eye clinic, for every lens that is being given out to a patient, the optician or the optometrist will usually confirm that lens to be sure that what he or she is giving out to the patient is actually what the patient has come for. What I mean by that is that if a patient comes with +2 as his prescription, the optician or the optometrist ensures that what he or she is giving out to the patient is exactly +2. And we have an instrument with which we use to test to confirm that the lens you are giving out is actually what it is. But these roadside sellers don't even know what is a lensometer, let alone knowing the principles and how it works. So they just rely on the tag on the lens. So once they see the tag, maybe it's +1 or +2, they just dish it out, they just give it to you like that. And now maybe your prescription is +1 diopter sphere and they are giving you +3, but they just saw +1 as a tag on the lens, not knowing the actual lens there is +3. It has happened a good number of times. I am not making up story. Almost on daily basis, you see patients come to the hospital, either maybe because they have realized that what they have been doing is wrong, or on their own they have noticed there is something wrong with this eyeglass that I bought from roadside sellers, and then they come around and then maybe you run some tests for them and then you discover that what they're using is quite different from what they got from those sellers. Or sometimes they come and they will tell you, I've actually been to this so and so hospital and this is the prescription they gave me. My problem is just reading, and so I went to roadside sellers and I was able to buy that prescription. And then for me, I will be like, so can I see the prescription? And then when you look at it, sometimes they leave that tag on it, okay? So I'm not like, so what is your prescription? Some of them have it in their head. They will say, my prescription is +1 diopter sphere. And I said, okay. And then I'll collect the glass that they've gotten from the roadside sellers. And then I will try to neutralize it to find out the power of the glass. And then I will discover probably the lens they actually came with was +3 instead of the proposed +1 they thought they have gotten. And you see, they have put their eyes into undue stress, making the eye to start using power that the eye is not supposed to start using. So you see why you don't need to patronize these roadside sellers. They give you lenses just there based on what is tagged on the lens. They are not even sure that that is the actual prescription. Of course, human being can make mistakes. It's not human being that are tagging that thing. Maybe they will pack all the frames one particular size, say, okay, all these glasses here are +2, this one is +1. They will just call one of their boys, so you start pasting +1, +1, +1, +1, and the boy may be playing around and forget that this one's supposed to be +1, and then maybe he goes and gets +3 tag and start pasting it on lenses that are supposed to be +1. These things happen. So you go to roadside sellers and then they will give you +3 in the name of +1 because that is the tag that the frame has there, and they will give you a wrong thing. But it doesn't happen in a proper eye clinic, and it does not happen in a proper optical shop. For every lens, they must test it to make sure that is the actual power that you are requesting for. So you see why you don't need to patronize these roadside sellers. Another one again, which is a no-go area if you fall in this category, are those people that have problem with distant vision and near vision. You can never find that kind of prescription from the roadside seller, and that's what people don't understand. Let me give you an instance. Let's do little mathematics. Let's assume a patient prescription is a bifocal lens, and this patient has a corrective prescription of +1. I know you may not be an optometrist, but listen very well, you will get it. You know what I told you the other day, a bifocal lens is a lens that has two corrective lenses. It has two focal points that takes care of your distant and your near task. So let's say this patient has a distant correction of +1, and then this same patient has a near correction lens, that's the one that enables him or her to read, of +2. Now that distant correction, which is +1, also has an impact on the near correction. So what it means, on the near correction, the actual power there will now be +3. Do you get it? That +1 and then the two, all of them will join together in that near correction to form +3. Now, you can never get this kind of prescription from these roadside sellers. Now, some people will say, give me my prescription, and then you give it to them. So, of course, on the prescription is well stated, far correction is +1, near correction is +2. And then the patient says, what do you have? The person says, madam, I don't have it. What I have is plano add 1. It's okay, what I want, you say it's plano. They wrote here +1 add 2. I beg, give me the one that has 2. I'm seeing 2 here in the reading portion. And then you will now go and pick an undercorrected prescription. Do you get it? Because the actual power you're supposed to use is +3 for that reading. So let's assume you want only reading now. Your actual power should be accumulation of that distance plus that near, which is +1 and +2, to actually give you that 3. But you see, you have just picked 2. And then you see, after some time they say, even with the glass I went and bought, I still don't see well the way I ought to see. And sometimes some of them will start blaming the doctor that prescribed, and the glass they gave me, I wasn't seeing well with it. But that is not the truth. It's because you went the wrong place to get the glass. There is no how you will go to a good optical shop. They will be able to explain this to you. They will say, okay, we do not have +1 and 2, okay, this is how we should do it. So you see why you don't need to patronize a roadside seller. Another reason why you should not patronize a roadside seller is because the glass sometimes vary. Do you know, I am not just making up this story. I have been opportune to neutralize a lens. When I mean neutralize, trying to test a lens, and I discover a bifocal lens. What section was doing as if it has a cylinder. That's the component that takes care of or corrects astigmatism. And then one component of that lens, still on the upper section, was giving me a sphere, and I was kind of confused. I had to call my colleague, please come and see what's going on here, you know. And then, of course, you have to explain to the patient that this glass is not good, just discard it and get another one. So why would you want to go and buy lens that you are not sure of? Why will you want to hand your eye, hand your vision, the actual normal thing that makes you to enjoy life, hand it over to someone who does not know anything about the eye, and you rely on them? They will give you something. Tomorrow you come back with heavy pain or headache and all of that. So these are the things I really want to encourage us. Please, please and please, do not patronize roadside eyeglass sellers. Do not patronize them. And if you must patronize them, if you think it's so important that you must patronize them, then after you have bought that glass from them, always return back to the hospital or to an optical shop. Return back to the hospital. Let them confirm that lens for you to ensure that it is very, very good. So that is why you must make sure that you get your glasses from an optometrist or an ophthalmologist. Make sure you get, because they are the ones that will do the right thing for you. Let me also tell you why you have to be careful about patronizing maybe these roadside sellers. Sometimes it's because an optometrist is the one who has seen your eye, checked it, had an interaction with you, and was the one that made the decision of the type of glass that you will need. Let's say, for instance, the doctor came up with a particular prescription, and then maybe in the course of trying to source for that lens, the doctor was unable to see the exact power. It is that doctor that has seen you will be able to make the right alternative decision for you. Let's say, for instance, your prescription is like, let's say, +1 addition 2. You may not understand this, but just listen. Maybe your distance correction is +1, and your near correction, which enables you to read, is +2. And then as the doctor went to source for that prescription and could not find it at all, it is still that doctor who knows, okay, while I was actually assessing your eye, I remember that your response with +0.75 was almost the same thing as with +1. So, okay, 1 + 1, okay, so let me still give you +0.75. Still, it will still give the same result as +1. And then that doctor will now compensate it for your reading. Okay, so since I'm not giving you +0.75 up here, that means it's going to cause your reading portion prescription to reduce. Instead of being total of +3, it might be a total of +2.75. So the doctor now says, okay, let me not give you, since I'm giving 0.75, let me compensate it. So your addition, your reading portion, what I wrote here is +2, it will no longer be +2, so let me make it +225, so that the whole package will still be intact for you. You see it. This is a professional. This is somebody who knows the principle. This is somebody who knows what to do, what alternative decision to make in your best interest. An optician cannot do that. Sometimes they will not say, okay, since it's this, use this. But he can't make that decision because he wasn't the one that tested your eye. So how will he be able to make the right decision? So you see why just patronizing straight roadside sellers is the worst thing you can ever do. And patronizing an optician, well, that could be okay, but make sure that is the actual prescription that you came with is what the person is giving to you, and not that the person is making an alternative decision for you. No optician has the right to make an alternative decision because they may not be making the proper decision. Now, for instance, this thing I've told you now, that let's say the patient's prescription was supposed to be +1 for distance and +2 for reading, and then maybe that very power is not available. An optician can just randomly tell you, okay, since it's +1, let's give you +125. You see it. Meanwhile, the optometrist that saw you was the one that had interactions, conducted the test, will be able to remember everything and be able to make the proper decision. And he's the person that you still come back to hold accountable, assuming there is anything that went wrong. But you gave me the glass, this is what. But some people will go to optician, they'll give them rubbish, and they'll come back to optometrists and start fighting them and all of that. I don't know whether I get what I'm trying to say. So I am trying to say, for your glass, for you to maximize your eye health, please patronize the right people, patronize professionals. If it has to do with an eyeglass, I must say deal with an optometrist or an ophthalmologist. An optician is probably you want them to do, but make sure you get the exact prescription from an optometrist in order to get the right thing. I hope I've not wasted so much of your time. I would like you to comment on this very topic that I've talked about. Ask me questions. I want many questions to be rolling in. I'm all here for you to answer as many questions that you will be bringing in. And if there are other topics you would want me to talk about, feel free to put it down on the comment section. I will go through them and then we'll discuss it. Until I meet you some other time, bye.